So I'm teaching floor, I got 25 kids, 25, somewhere around there, 24 kids. We're using the whole 40 by 40 floor. We got like 6 lines going on the floor. It's like first, and it's organized, okay? So first group ready, go. Second group ready, good, go. Third group ready, go. And we're just doing basic tumbling. So handstands, cartwheels, limbers, you know, rolling, stuff like that. And the thing I'm noticing, I got so many kids on the floor and you got bent arms and bent legs and, you know, it's so hard to communicate, okay, here's, how do I maintain that quality, right? And so as they're going down the floor, I'm realizing I don't have the greatest influence on all the kids. What am I gonna do in this situation? I can't solve the problem. And that's when it strikes me, there's something that I gotta figure out here. This is episode 2, the gymnastics experience. I'm Raleigh Carter. So the lines format is really about having 2 points, point A, point B. And it's about moving from point A and what you do in the middle to get to point B. That is the lines format, okay? The lines format is generally done on floor and beam. Don't get confused with vault. Vault's not lines format, even though you're moving from one point to the other. But it's floor and beam, okay? And it's moving from one point to the other, and it's what you do in the middle. Depending on how many students you have, depends on how many lines you're going to need. You know, you could have 8 students, and you could put 2 kids in each line, and then you have 4 lines. Or you could have 8 students, and put 4 kids in a line, and have 2 lines. Okay, so the structure of the lines format is gonna be based on how many kids you have in your group. The other aspect is gonna be, you have a starting point, and that means that the kids have to have a start position. You need to tell them what it is. And then they're gonna move through this middle section, and then you have an end point. All right, and you need to know that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's another aspect of the structure. The problem with lines is that once you have the kids going from point A to point B and they start moving through it, you know, you can't really make a correction as quickly because you're just gonna stop the flow. And if you have a bunch of lines going, the kids furthest from you are gonna be the hardest to influence. The ones closest to you can influence, but the ones further away from you are more difficult to influence. In the lines format, you're gonna be giving information. You're basically teaching them something, right? So what information are you gonna give them and how are you gonna give it? It's very important. At the beginning, what you're going to do is you're going to probably want to take a demonstrator, but you're going to say, okay, we're doing handstands. You pull a demonstrator out, you show them the handstand that you want to see, you give them some expectations. I want to see straight legs, pointed toes, you know, I want to see you lever in and lever out, something like that. I actually have some quarters here, I'll show you something. So if you have 8 kids, you're going to maybe place in this another quarter. Say you have 8 kids, you might have 4 lines with 2 kids in a line. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 4 lines, and then you're gonna put another kid in between or behind this kids. Now, the kids in the first group are called group 1, and the kids in the second group are group 2, and if you have more kids in the back, they're group 3, so 1, 2, 3. And so what you want to do with the first group is you want to basically say, okay, first group ready. And they need to have a ready position. Whatever skill you're doing, you need to know what their ready position is to show you that they're ready to go, okay? You don't just say, all right, first group go, without them showing the ready position. So lines is about having structure. You have first group ready, they show you the ready position. Then it's first group go, they start going. Then second group ready, they show you the ready position. Second group go, okay? And so you have this formality going in lines. Lines is a great place to teach athletes and students how to listen and follow directions, not just go when they want to. The other part of the structure is you want to make sure that you put the most advanced athlete first. That way that they're not confused about the information, they can demonstrate it properly as they're going through, and put the least experienced athlete in the back. That way it gives them plenty of time to watch and observe so that they can imitate really what's happening. In the middle, between the line process, from where they start and where they end, in the middle is where you're gonna give your motivation. You can't give a lot of corrections, you can't have a big influence, because you got so many kids going, by the time you walk through, you're gonna stop the process, and you don't wanna stop the process in lines. The goal is to just get everyone moving, okay? So you're gonna motivate them. You motivate them by, hey, good job with those straight arms, hey, good job with those straight legs, hey, push a little bit more. Give them things to work towards while they're going, yell out quick, fast cues. Don't give them this long explanation. Don't make them stand in the middle of the floor while they're trying to listen to you. Just quick, fast things and then get them moving. Common mistake is that we want to go fix the problem in the middle section when somebody's doing something, but that really stops the flow of the line. It also takes you out of the rhythm of getting the groups going. So it is best to wait till everyone's finished and then at the end worry about giving the correction. At that point, you want to take a global correction. You want to say, okay, everybody had bent legs, or the majority of everybody had bent legs. So you say, okay guys, this is what we want to do. When we do our handstands again, I want to make sure that everyone has straight legs all the way through. That's what we're focusing on, straight legs. And then you have them go again, you see if they have straighter legs, and then at the end, you give them the correction. In the middle section, when they're going, is the time you're gonna motivate. Compliment, encourage, validate the kids that are working hard. Don't insult the kids that are not trying, because they just might be learning slow. They may not understand 100%. They all get to the end, okay? Validate them, hey, this looked a lot better, okay? This is what I wanna see now. Do the same exact skill again, but give them a different expectation. Maybe you want straighter legs, straighter arms, maybe you want them to all do it just even better. Maybe you want majority of the group looking better, so hey, we're gonna wait till I got at least 75% of the kids doing this all correctly, and then have them go again. You can probably only do the whole back and forth process like 3 times before they're gonna get burnt out on that skill. And so what you gotta do is make sure that you're changing it up. Don't get so hung up, super hyper focused, like we're gonna master handstands and we're only gonna do handstands for 20 minutes. You're gonna lose them in that period. Okay, so this is lines. You have basically, let me give you information at the beginning. You're gonna try that information out, and I'm just gonna encourage you through the process, and then at the end, I'm gonna give you a correction, and we're gonna do the whole thing all over again. Here's your correction, go try, I'm gonna encourage you, and then we're gonna talk about it again. And that's really the line structure overall. When it comes to coaching, lines is the easiest format to get disengaged with, because it's so easy to just cross your arms and be like, yo, forward roll, cartwheel, okay, that's pretty good, and there's no engagement. Also with lines, because you're not hands-on and you're not really gonna get in their personal space, you're using a lot of verbal communication, and that doesn't have a huge effect when somebody's really far away from you. Especially if you're a new coach or you've never coached the athletes before, you're not gonna have that relationship built when you yell straight legs that they instantly straighten their legs. It's the athletes that I've been working with for many, many years. When I say straight arms, they straighten their arms. But it's the newer athletes that either they're maybe intimidated or they're just not even aware of my voice and they don't even listen, but they won't respond the same way. You have to kind of feel it out a little bit more. So lines, you don't have the same influence from the whole depth of the line. So it's really about using your influence at the beginning and at the end of the line position. And that's the lines format. You use it on floor, you use it on beam. Another great aspect of the lines format, real fast, what's really cool about it is you can actually, if you say you need to, you're doing a handstands or something down the floor and you notice that people have really poor shaping control. Well, if they're condensed in their line and they're waiting all to go, what you can do is you can kind of expand it, kind of like an accordion. You can stretch out the lines. So you can take one group and say, okay, everyone walk forwards, the next group will spread out, and then everyone can be laying down on the floor, and you can go through and fix their shapes, and you can basically say, okay, let's fix our handstand shapes, cool, they all did their shapes, and then you can go back in and say, okay, let's collapse them and bring them back into the line. You can say, first group ready, go ahead and go, second group ready, go ahead and go, third group ready, go ahead and go. So it's really easy to kind of expand and contract, and so you can get the body shaping well and then pull them back into lines and then let them do the skill. And then you can see what it looks like, pull them out, have them lie down on the floor, feel the shapes, put them back in, and then let them go through the skill. That's the lines format. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know how this worked out in your gym. Leave a comment below. Also remember, I'll be talking more in depth about the lines format in later videos, so don't forget to subscribe so we can keep the conversation going on how to improve gymnastics coaching.